Hi everyone, Kendall here with Annie's. Today we're going to be making the Meow and Woof blankets originally designed by Brianna Kepner. For our supplies, we have one skein of cerulean and we have one skein of natural pearl. These are both medium weight 4, just like they came in your kit. You're also going to need a 6mm crochet hook or a J hook. I can't find my 6mm hook, so I'm using my 5.5. But do be sure to check the gauge to make sure you have enough yarn at the end. You're also going to need a tapestry needle. A few notes about this pattern. We're going to be weaving in the loose ends with a tapestry needle as our work progresses, so you don't have to save them to the end. You can continue to do it along. Our chain 1 at the beginning does not count as a stitch, and we're going to want to pull it up to the same height as a half double crochet. When we're reading our chart, each square represents one half double crochet. We're going to change color in the last yarn over of the stitch beforehand, and we're going to carry any unused color underneath the stitches up to the point that it will be no longer needed on the next row, and we're not going to carry it to the end of the row. All this sounds a little confusing if this is your first time doing tapestry crochet, but I promise you it's a lot of fun and it's super easy. Let's jump right in. I'm going to be making the Meow blankets today because I love my cats and I'm sure they're going to make an appearance in this video at some point, so we have to make the cat blanket. Starting with our natural pearl for row 1, we're going to make our slip knot, place it on your hook, and we're going to chain 55. On our very last chain, I'm going to make it a little bigger than my other ones because I want it to be as tall as a half double crochet. We're then going to yarn over and start our half double crochets in the second chain from hook, so not the one on your hook, but the one next to it. And make our half double crochet. You're going to place one half double crochet in every stitch all the way down the row. At the end of row 1, you should have 54 half double crochets, and I highly recommend taking a moment to pause and count them. Our stitch count is very important in tapestry crochet, so we know that everything lines up and you don't have to do mental math because we could just follow the instructions. For rows 2 and 3, you're going to chain 1 with our nice tall, well, I can make that taller. There we go. Tall chain, and you're going to half double crochet in every stitch all the way down. For rows 2 and 3, I'm going to jump ahead to row 4 because that's where the fun starts. We're going to start with our chain 1. Half double crochet in the first 5 stitches, and we're still in our natural pearl color. Before starting our next section, we have our 5 half double crochets, but now we're going to start reading our chart. And remember, each square represents one half double crochet, and on this chart we're reading from, oh, see, I told you they'd make an appearance. We're going to go back and forth, but you're going to want to look at the row counts because we're on row 4, which starts on the right side, because this is the right side facing of your project. So you don't want to flip it around. So now we're going to start our project and we're going to count how many squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm actually going to do 7 in the natural pearl because I want to show you how to switch colors. On our 8th half double crochet, I'm going to yarn over and insert, yarn over, pull through, just like normal. So I have 3 loops on my hook. Normally, we would yarn over and pull through and that would be it. But we get to add our brand new color, which is our blue. So I have my tail over here, leaving a couple inches so I can weave it in later, hooking it on, and I like to hold it, and then I'm pulling through with the blue. I'll tighten it a little bit at the white to make sure it's nice and pretty. Going back to our chart, we have 1 blue square. So I'm going to yarn over with the blue, but before I insert it into the next stitch, I'm going to take my white, or my natural pearl, and place it on top. So when I go through the next stitch, I'm yarning over and pulling through. Our white is tucked inside, which is perfect because now we need to switch back to white. So I place my blue kind of to the side, to the back, yarn over with the white, and pull through. Now I'm going to place my blue on our base and make sure you're not using the tail. Oh my goodness, we just have to make an appearance for the meow blanket. Thank you. You're going to yarn over. Make sure the blue is on top and stitch. So I did 1, which is right here, and then you have, these are blocks of 10, so you have to do 20 and then 5, and we'll switch to blue again. And we're going to keep that blue underneath the whole time. I'm in my last stitch about to switch to my blue. So I'm yarning over and pulling through, dropping my white, picking up my blue, and pulling it a little bit. So yes, you can sort of see the blue a little tiny bit, but not very much. If that really bothers you, you can play around with the tension before you make the next stitch, of pulling it tighter or looser, but you want to make sure it doesn't bunch. So you do want to make sure you stretch it out a little bit. And then I'm going to make my next stitch in blue with my white on top and switch to my white. Now for our chart, we are done with blue for this row, but we do need it in the next one. So we're going to drop the blue behind, and we're just going to work with the white yarn until we need that blue again. So I'm going to finish my half double crochets down the row. And important to note here too is that we are following the chart plus 5 half double crochets in the beginning and 5 half double crochets in the end. So if you're just looking at the chart and you're like, my counts are off, nope, you just need to add the 5 in the beginning and 5 at the end. For row 5, I'm going to do my chain 1, my nice and tall one, do 5 half double crochets, and then we're going to start our chart work. I'm going to go all the way up until this point, and I'll show you how to carry the yarn up. I'm in the last stitch right before I have to switch, so I'm going to start my half double crochet, and then I'm going to pick up my blue, tightening my white a little bit, and I'm just yarning over and pulling through. You just picked it up from behind. I'm going to place my white on top, and now we get to make 2 blue stitches. 1 and 2. And switching back to the white for a while. And then you'll continue to crochet with that blue in between the stitches. This is our wrong side, so this is the right side. We have our 2 stitches. Again, you can play around the tension if you don't like seeing the blue in between. Personally, doesn't bother me. You're going to want to follow this whole chart all the way up until row 36. Before we begin row 36, we are now going to fasten off. We are going to do 2 rows of half double crochet in white, but then we are going to do 1 more in white and then switch back to blue after the 3rd white half double crochet row. You're then going to switch to blue and do the remaining rows of half double crochets, but in blue. Give your nice block on your image. Let me add a few rows to mine, then I'll show you how to do the border. We're gonna have to pretend that my beautiful blanket is already finished, like I know yours is when you're jumping into the border. I'm just gonna show you on the small sample. I'm gonna chain 1, and you're gonna single crochet in every stitch down the row. In our last stitch of the row, we're gonna place 3 single crochets into the same stitch. So you can do 1, and then insert again, 2, and 3. This is going to be our corner, which is going to help turn our work. You're then going to place 67 single crochets evenly along the raw edges of your blanket, or your chains that you carried up. You just want to be a little patient, pull it apart a little bit so you can look and see where it goes. And in each corner, you're going to do the same thing of 3 single crochets, and then single crocheting along the back side of the chains. You'll go all the way across. As we go into the last corner, we already have 1 single crochet in it from the beginning, so we just need to place 2 more single crochet in the same stitch that we began in when we started it. Then we're going to work our slip stitch join. Thank you so much for joining me in this tutorial. I hope you had a great time learning tapestry crochet, and I hope that you were able to make this beautiful blanket that I know all the cats and dogs are going to love because my cats love them. Go ahead and share your projects online with social media using that hashtag Annie's Kit Clubs, and we'll see you in the next video.